A very good afternoon, everyone. I am Amit Agarwal, a practicing chartered accountant from Alwar, the moderator of today's webinar. We are very delighted to welcome you all in this webinar, which is being organized by the CP Committee of ICAI. Please block your calendars for the future CP webinars as they provide invaluable insights and networking opportunities. It is a pleasure to be the moderator of the 83rd webinar on professional opportunities for CAs under Real Estate Regulation and Development Act and US tax laws. The role of chartered accountant is evolving continuously to accept newer responsibilities in a dynamic global environment. The future of CAs depends on being flexible and open to innovation. Therefore, the need of the hour is to innovate as per the requisites of the contemporary business environment and accordingly upgrade our skills sets and explore emerging practicing areas. The CP committee believes that the members of ICI should look beyond traditional areas of practice and actively seek and explore new business opportunities and professional verticals. So, on behalf of the CP committee, I would like to introduce our esteemed Vice Chairman, CA Vishnu Kumar Agarwal sir, a Central Council member of ICI, who currently serves as the Vice Chairman of both CP committee and Dieters committee. He's a very charisma appearance and brings tremendous expertise to the committee, and I invite him to share his opening remarks.
Very
Sir?
good afternoon, everyone. Our Honorable Chairman of the CP Committee, under his leadership, we have done very good program, very good webinar in this particular year, and we have done so many work under this committee. Friends, under the leadership of Satish Gupta ji, we have done very good 2 days national conference in the last week at the Jaipur on the 30th and 31st December, and the 2,500 participation from across the country they have came, and the speaker from the toppest of the respective field they have invited, and everyone have joined, and more than 5,000 chartered accountant are also seen on the online on this particular 2 days national conference. Friends, so I request everyone, my each and every participation here today, along with my speakers, to please join hand for our leader Satish Gupta ji of the CP committee chairman. Friends, today's the speaker is Sunil Naik ji and Bharat Goyal ji. Sunil Naik ji from Mumbai itself on the RERA, and our Bharat Goyal ji on the NRI taxation. Both are the respective figures in their particular field, and they have came here to sharing his knowledge. Is so thank you very much from my bottom of heart, Sunil Naik ji and Bharat Gupta ji, and our moderator Amit Agrawal ji from Alwar. Today I will not take much of the time because I again joined to hurry to go to college to send my daughter for the exams, CA inter exam. So today I will not speak more, and our chairman Satish Gupta ji is here, and Satish Gupta, under his leadership, friends, just I tell you, in 52 weeks of the year, we have already done 83 webinar during the year, and so many experts we have invited, and so many participation has taken this benefit of this particular webinar across the country. So many experts, they have shared their views on the respective fields. Friends, with these words, I thanks to each one of you for giving this opportunity. Thank you, friends.
Thank you so much, Vishnu sir, for a valuable speech. Now I would like to introduce our distinguished chairman, CA Satish Kumar sir, who is presently serving as a chairman of the continuing CP committee of ICI. Additionally, he served as the chairman of the UDIN directorate and vice chairman of the committee for members in practice. Sir previously served as a council member of ICI from 2019 to 2022 and is a renowned speaker and author specializing in income tax assessments, search, surveys, and professional development topics like goal settings and career planning. I invite him to address the gathering with his welcome remarks. Hand over to you, sir.
Thank you, Amit. Thanks a lot. My brother in the council, vice chairman of this committee, CA Vishnu Agrawal ji. Renowned speaker on RERA, CA Sunil Naik ji, as rightly stated by my vice chairman, that he is the professional of several leaders. And and a young chartered accountant, a very dynamic professional, Bharat Goyal from Jaipur. Sunil Nayak sir will take the RERA provisions, and Bharat will take the US tax laws. And Amit Agrawal ji from Alwar is a very dynamic and a very energetic chartered accountant. Ginni ji, Secretary Committee for Committee and Tech Team and Team CP. I welcome each one of you in the 83rd webinar organized by the Committee for Continuous Professional Education. It was really amazing to see that we have held more than 80 webinars this year and have a target of 100 webinars. So I think it will be a milestone for the profession in this committee. My dear friends who are attending this webinar in a large number, I just want to tell you that our focus is to impart knowledge, to update our members on the professional acumenship and various topics and subjects. And this year to maintain the quality of the program and to maintain the availability of program, we have taken several steps and I have spoken several times. But I would like to say, even in the cost of repetition, that we have invited experts from our foreign chapters to share the knowledge about the opportunities for professionals in their respective country. We have also invited some MSME experts to tell us the opportunity in the MSME sectors. We have also invited industry experts to tell us the opportunity in their specific industries. And all those topics went very well. Today we have Sunil Nayak sir who will speak on the RERA. And I always say that we professionals don't adopt the new law when they come. When they become old, we think of that particular adoption of that particular law. But I know my dear friends who adopted the RERA in 2016 or 2017, they are at the top of the practice. I know one of my younger friend at Jaipur who adopted RERA in that particular year. Now he is having his offices 10 of the states of the country and dealing in the RERA only and having a very good professional receipts. So we cannot bring back the RERA time that came in 2016. But what I can suggest you, my dear friends, now new labor code has come. New DPDP Act has come. New Income Tax Act 2025 has come. And this is the right time to go line by line of these acts and have a mastery on the topics so you can dominate in that particular field. Every law has a scope for chartered accountant. Every law. Forget that appearance is allowed or not for the chartered accountants. Forget that whether appellate provisions are there or not. Forget there is a litigation or not. But advisory, consultancy, some planning is always in every law, and every your client may be benefited by your knowledge and in resulting into professional receipts for all of us. So don't forget that these new laws which have recently come, and we should go in depth with the provisions of all these three laws which I spoke just now. So friends, go for this. And availability is concern of the CP programs. We have opened several new chapters, several new circles. So our members, even in the remotest corner of the country, is benefited by the CP programs. Friends, a few things about UDIN and CMP I would like to share here, because opportunity is not available all times. We get opportunity on weekly 2 times generally in the CP committee. Nowadays we are with a series on new labor code and that income tax act 2025. So you must attend all these webinars which we are going to hold in next 7 to 10 days. So in Udin, friends, we have come up with one new portal on Udin. I know that some of our members are facing some problems in getting Udin. So whatever problem you are facing, please let the Udin Directorate know. You can simply mail your problem with the screenshot to the Udin Directorate, and I can assure you that TCS team along with our Udin Directorate team are working very hard to resolve all the issues one by one. We have received more than 2,200 complaints in last 15 days, and as of now, the open complaints are only 2022. So we have cleared more than 22, almost all the complaints. So whatever complaint, whatever problem you have in the generation of Udin, please share with the Udin Directorate on their mail. They will work on that. They will talk with you and they will resolve the issue. We, as I told you earlier also, we have made 3 changes in the Udin system now. Some changes in the portal are separate. In the portal changes, now you will find the alphanumeric things. Both things are allowed. Second thing, negative figures you can mention there. And you will feel a very good experience on the new portal. And apart from this, we have made 3 basic changes that no member would be in position to generate UTIN for 61st tax audit, meaning thereby member can generate UTIN for 60 tax audits only, not for more than that. Second, we have made the available that if you want to know the name of succeeding auditor, in case your auditee has changed the auditor and no communication has been received from the succeeding auditor, so Udin Directorate will tell you the name of the succeeding auditor in your case, enabling you to talk with that auditor about the fees pending, if any, or about any technical issues which you want to share with the succeeding auditor. Third thing which we have done this year, and initially we received several I can say uh, comments or several challenges, but now the members are happy because we started this year that auditor's opinion column in the uh, UDIN certificate. So if whatever audit you have done, if you have any disclaimer, if you have any adverse opinion, or if you have any qualification, we require that you mention that particular only, whether it is qualified. No, we are not asking for the detailed qualification or the detailed disclaimer or detailed adverse opinion. We are simply asking that whether this report is qualified, having any adverse opinion or having any that disclaimer. So that has helped us a lot, and I think it will help us and the entire profession a lot in future also. So these 3 changes we made in the Udin portal this year, and apart from some changes in the new portal. Few things I would like to talk with you about the committee for members in practice, where I am the vice chairman, my dear friend. So as a vice chairman, we have made certain new tie-ups with certain banks. One new tie-up was with the SDFC Bank, providing our members unsecured term loan as well as unsecured drop-down working capital facility at very reasonable rates. I would request if anyone of you is interested or need of the money as a loan, which I believe that chartered accountants generally don't go for any loan unless they are very keenly needed. So if there is an emergency or some need, you can you can go with and visit the CMP benefits site on our portal and can know what are the particular facilities given by the SDFC Bank. But just to brief that the interest rate is 11% allowed around, and that is unsecured loan, no collateral is required, and processing fees is also very limited. So you can think of that. And one very important tie-up which we have made with the AU Bank is the credit card. New credit card we have launched this year with the help of AU Bank. In that credit card is lifetime free credit card, giving 8 domestic airport lounge access free, and one more important feature they have, that if the member pay the fees, renewal fees of ICI through that credit card, then the member is entitled for a 25% discount by the AU Bank. So this is a new feature we have brought, and think you must know about that particular credit card. If you want more, you can visit the CMP site and can take particular knowledge from there. Apart from this, friends, we are working with the Adobe, we are working with the Meta, we are working with the Google for having some tie-ups to bring some technical things, some technical subscriptions, so our members can be benefited in terms of cost. So this is all about particular new developments, what is happening at the committees where I am leading. So just to brief that, yes, we are going on the right direction. Next thing which I would like to invite you in the WOFA 2.0, which we are going to hold at Noida, Greater Noida on 30th January, 31st January, and 1st of February. Very good program, my dear friend. Very good program. It is an opportunity to connect. It is an opportunity to have a networking with the global leaders, with the Indian leaders, with the Indian counterparts, our peers, and 3 full days packed with the knowledge. We have some different breakout sessions on different topics, which includes MSME, which includes income tax also, which includes the newer and emerging opportunities. So if you are interested to make your career in this profession globally or nationally, so I would request you to come and attend this WOFA 2.0 at Greater Noida at India Expo Center, a very large venue, a very wonderful venue, and then giving an opportunity to meet our peers, not only country, national peers, but the international peers also. So come and join, and they are offering a discount of rupee 2,000, and if we make a group 5 or more members register, then a 10% further discount is there. So just think of it, because this opportunity comes rare, and this time we are targeting more than 25,000 delegates in that particular WOFA 2.0. So this is going to be a wonderful place, wonderful happening place. So come and join in WOFA. So with this, I don't want to come in between me and you and Sunil Naik sir, who will speak about the RERA. And RERA, though late, but you can still start if your place or town or city does not have any RERA practitioner, or a very lesser number of practitioner of and RERA, then this particular opportunity give you hold the income tax, give you hold GST, give you hold on particular other real estate provisions like drafting, like you can also project financing. So there are various things you can get out of RERA practice, but you cannot get RERA clients simply practicing income tax and GST. But if you practice RERA, you can get several things. So this is a wonderful opportunity at your place if there is no RERA practitioner as of now. So just listen Sunil Naik sir, and have an opportunity to start a new practice line. Like Bharat will talk about the US tax provisions and other opportunity in the US for the Indian chartered accountants. I think that is also going to be wonderful listening today. So all the best, and I think this is going to be a value addition to our knowledge. All the best, Sunil Bhai. All the best, Bharat Bhai. All the best, Amit Bhai and the team. See you again. Thank you, and thanks a lot. Thank you. Over to Amit.
Satish sir, I have a query. You told that there is a loan facility for the member. Is there any loan facilities for the students also, because they don't generally don't get the education loans from banks?
Loan.
Yeah,
Yes, we can talk about from students part also, but as of now, we have made arrangement for the chartered accountant members only.
right, sir. So as
But we can think of that.
right, because they don't get the education loan like the college students.
I have
Okay.
noted Amit, and I will definitely explore this opportunity.
So one more thing I have to share.
Yeah.
Sir, in regard to articleship, sir, they generally in our time there was 3 years articleship time. Now this has been reduced to 2 years period. So if any article wants to want to go for the industrial training, he or she have only 1 year, and we can't train our students in 1 year to be a trained CA. We can't guide in 1 year. So I think
Amit bhai, you are right. Several members are raising this question, but when last CRET was being hold and they recommended 2 year, but I think in council also the divergent opinions are coming. So we are our president is going to settle one more CRET this year or next year. That will give their recommendations, and I think the previous 3 year term may be reinitiated, but your point is very important and I think very relevant also, because some quality issues are also there, and let us work on that. But it is, democratic setup, majority prevails, and so we all are with the majority. So let us hope that we get it corrected very soon. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Any
thank you,
other
sir.
question, Amit bhai?
No, sir. Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir,
very much. Thanks a
for
lot.
your
Over
valuable
to,
time.
thank you, bhai. Thanks a lot.
Sir, as sir has said, upcoming weeks will be very crucial as webinars on new laws will be there. So do check your mails in regard to this. Thank you, sir, for bringing good updates in the UDN also, where you can know who is the current auditor, which will help you to recover your fees. And there is also a good change that there's a limitation on the UDN for 60 or tax audits, which will automatically stop the auditor. In case he forgets, it will automatically stop the auditor from getting the audit done if the limit is over. Further, waiting to see upcoming membership with Google and Adobe. Let's hope there will be good changes from the institutes. And thank you, sir, for the very welcome updates that you are bringing in the uh,
Welcome, bro.
institute. So we starting with our first session. I welcome CA Sunil Damodar Naik, sir, a distinguished professional with over 4 decades of expertise in taxation, audit, and advisory services. He specializes in RERA consultancy, handling project registrations, compliances, and advisory for major real estate developments. He holds multiple professional qualifications, CA and CWA and CS, and he has achieved all India ranks in both chartered accountancy and company secretary examination, a rare distinction. He has delivered numerous sessions on RERA and tax matters across various prestigious platforms. With such extensive expertise in RERA matters, C.S. Sunil Dumar Damodar Naik is ideally positioned to shed light on the professional opportunities that a chartered accountants can leverage in the real estate sector under the evolving regulatory framework. I now invite C.A. Sunil Damodar Naik sir to take the stage and share his valuable insight on the professional opportunities for CAs under RERA, Real Estate Regulation and Development Act. We look forward to an enriching session, and participants are encouraged to note the key points and prepare questions for the question answer sessions that will follow. Hand over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. I'll share my screen.
Sure, sir.
Yep.
Screen visible, sir.
Visible, right? Okay, let's start. Friends, very good afternoon to all of you, and a good opportunity being offered to me by the institute. I'm thankful for that. I'll do my best because for me, I am a full-time RERA practitioner. So I have stopped my practice in 2017 after 34 years, and then switched over to RERA. And so for me, it is all my bread, butter, cake, ice cream, everything. So for me, RERA is very dear to my heart. As Sir said in this opening speech, that the new laws which come into play are very relevant, and all of us should be looking towards these laws to understand the laws and try to create a vertical of these laws in our regular practice. So, friends, I decided to practice RERA on a full time basis, stop my entire practice, and switched over to RERA. So, being a pioneer in that field, I had an advantage over others, and honestly, that has given me a lot of leverage in my professional practice. So for all of you, a vertical of RERA is a must because it is a very paying field, one, and plus it is a very specialized field. So there are very few chartered accountants who are into that practice and who are in a position to give those services. So for you, it is an opportunity which can be encashed. So let me touch upon this law. What exactly is the law like and why it has come into play? I'll touch upon that and then I'll proceed what exactly is the opportunity for a chartered accountant. And I am talking to you on the basis of my own experience. Well, I have been doing all this work for last 7 years. So whatever I'm putting on a piece of paper is what exactly I am doing right now. So let us start with the law. The law came into force on 1st of May 2016. It is basically a central law. So it applies to whole of India. It is not only for Maharashtra or any other state. It is a pan-India law, which means that a person from Chennai is now in a position to buy a property in Delhi after understanding the law and is protected by the law so that tomorrow in case something goes wrong he has got the law in his favor to take any position and get the dispute resolved. So the law is a pan India law. For implementation of the law, what they have done is that they have put the states into position to put the rules and regulations in place so that the rules and regulations are by the state considering the peculiar situation in that state and the law is of the central government. So why this law? So we understand this from the speech of the then housing minister, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, when he presented the bill of the RERA Act in the parliament. These were the objectives which were put to the parliament. He said that at present, the law which is there, the governing law, whether it was Consumer Protection Act or MOFA in Maharashtra, they were not sufficient to take care of the allottees, the purchasers. There was a situation that the allottees, the purchasers, were not given the right amount of freedom or right amount of opportunity to put up their grievances, and they were not being given the right way to deal in the properties that they wanted to purchase. So, to take care of the customers, the allottees, this law has come into play. So, this is basically a consumer welfare law. To understand that this law is to protect the allottees. So, 99% of the law is favoring the allottees, the purchasers, and conversely, it is a law which is supposed to restrict the freedom and they restrict the wrongdoing practices of the promoter, the developer. So this law proposes to be beneficial to the allottee and wants to regulate and discipline the promoters. So you have to basically understand this is the object of the law. Now, what is the exact objective being enumerated in the parliament speech? The minister said, first, ensure accountability towards allottees and protect their interests. So this is the basic purpose of the law, that allottees who are innocent, ignorant about the law should be protected by a mechanism put up by RERA. Then it said, infuse transparency. Now, all of you must have purchased properties in your life. You must remember and recollect that when you purchased a property, the document was given to you and you did not bother or you are not allowed to go to the document. You just made to sign on the dotted line and you signed the document without understanding, without knowing the contents. I have done it in my life. So, being a chartered accountant, still I was not offered the opportunity to run through the document and then only sign. All of us have done this while buying properties. So, in that case, the law says that the document has to be drafted in a particular fashion, which means under RERA, now the agreement to sell or the letter of allotment to be issued to an allottee has to be in a given format. The format has been prescribed by RERA. The developer has to go to RERA and get his format approved, and then and only then is allowed to go into an agreement, which means that there will be a transparency. The RERA authority will monitor whether documents are in order or not, the title is correctly done or not, the plans are in place or not, and then and only then he'll be allowed to execute the project, which means that now there is a protective mechanism for the allottees offered by the RERA Act. Then it says introduce professionalism and pan India standardization. Here, this is maybe the only law wherein it is being implemented through the instrument of professionals. In RERA, we have a chartered accountant, we have an architect, we have an engineer, and a supervisor. All of them are required to give certificates to Maharera about the project. So the Maharera will like the chartered accountant, architect, and the engineer to give a certificate on record to give the exact information about the project, which means for the allottee, there are the professionals who are working in their interest so that all the information is correctly compiled and standardly given to the Maharashtra authority. Friends, the certificates are to be issued. Certificate is a statement of fact, which means that anybody, any professional will have to give the facts as they stand. He is not allowed to manipulate or do any adjustment in issuing the certificates. So that will give the correct information for the beneficial interest of the allottee. Then it says establish symmetry of information between the promoter and the allottee. A classic case is of a carpet area. Previously, if you remember, we used to have something like sellable area, which had got no definition under any law. It was the creation of the developer community where they used to load some percentage on the carpet area. Now that is history. Now the law says, the RERA says that you have to deal only in terms of carpet area as defined under RERA. So RERA has defined the carpet area, has made it sure that the deal between the promoter and the allottee is on the basis of carpet area only. The liberty is not given to the promoter to add or delete anything. The carpet area has been defined very clearly. Plus, RERA has given architectural plans to compute the carpet area, and the allottee is given the right to get a certificate from the promoter about the exact carpet area being offered to him, which means that whatever you have purchased in the agreement will have to be given by the promoter to you. So all this has been put into place. Then it says establish fast track dispute resolution. In India, the mechanism of the legal structure, the judiciary, is that the claim or the appeal or the case filed by the person is heard by his grandson, or maybe sometimes if he's lucky by his son. So there is a lag of 15 to 20 years in the civil courts today. To remove this anomaly and this mistake or the inefficiency, the law of RERA says that we will have our own mechanism of setting up an authority as well as a tribunal to hear the grievances of the allottees or the promoter, as the case may be, and make sure that they are being addressed at that level itself. There is a time limit given of 60 days for resolving a dispute of a complaint by the authority, and similarly 60 days for the tribunal to dispose of the matter, which means that there is a time-bound program given under this law wherein the grievances of the allottees can be taken care of. Going further, now, for us to understand who are the important players in this market to whom we have to render our services as a chartered accountant, because we have to ultimately look at the client who is to be the beneficiary of our services and who is going to pay us for the services being rendered by us. So, for us, the promoter, a co-promoter, landowner, society, an investor, a mortgager, a project financer, a contractor under BATA arrangement, allottees, and real estate agents. So many people are there who are the beneficiary of this industry, which means that for all of us, these are the potential clients to whom we should look at for getting work under Real Estate Regulation Act. So now let me analyze each and every player and what scope is there for us as a chartered accountant to approach them. Okay. Plus, in addition to these people, for the regulatory roles, the mechanism is of an architect, engineer, a chartered accountant, advocate, and a banker. All these five people are required to monitor the progress of the project on a regular basis and submit quarterly progress report to the RERA authority. And it is mandatory on the part of the promoter to sign the certificates as issued by the professionals, which means that a certificate being issued by a chartered accountant or an architect is countersigned by the promoter as accepted by me, which means that the chartered accountant also has a cover of the promoter. In case there is some wrongdoing done by the promoter, he is also accountable to the certificate being issued by the chartered accountant. which means that there is a safety net given to you as a chartered accountant when you issue a certificate, because your certificate will have to be accepted by the promoter and only then it can be submitted. We had situation in the past wherein in some cases the promoters disowned the certificate issued by the chartered accountant, and for that purpose RERA came with this concept that no, the CA only is not going to sign, the CA will sign the certificate, but it has to be accepted by the promoter as a correct certificate. That gives you a lot of support because you have got a cover of the promoter also. Now, for the chartered accountant to have some work from a promoter basically you mean a developer or a builder who is doing the project. Okay. Now, where do you come into play? First and foremost, the registration, because under RERA, the promoter is not allowed to sell or market his project unless the project is registered under RERA, which means that that is the first step for a project to come into shape. The birth of the project is when the registration certificate is granted to the promoter under RERA. And for that purpose, you have to get a CA certificate under form number 3 to enable the promoter to get the registration. So here you come at the first stage, the initial stage of the project. So unless a CA issues the certificate, the registration is not coming to the promoter. So now here, as a chartered accountant, first time we are on the revenue side. I'll explain you how. When initially a project used to be conceived, the promoter used to talk to his architect for getting the plans ready, for a structural engineer to get the drawings ready, maybe with the advocate to get a title certificate ready. And they were the people who were the generators of the revenue for the client, for the promoter. First time a CA is required to go on the revenue side. Previously, we used to come into play only on the expenditure side. You had to tell the client to pay GST, to pay TDS, to get registration under Companies Act or Partnership Act. So you were all the time telling the client to spend money. But first time we are on the revenue side, unless you issue the certificate to the promoter, his registration cannot happen. He will not be entitled to get registration under RERA, which opens the first opportunity for a chartered accountant to issue that certificate and claim the registration. The bill which you raise for generation revenue for the client is cleared immediately. From my experience, I can tell you my bills when they are raised, they're immediately cleared because the client knows that unless he takes care of me, his registration will not happen, his compliance will not happen. So for us, it is an opportunity that nobody else, and for your information, only a chartered accountant is allowed to issue the certificates. Neither the company secretaries, nor the cost accountants, nor the CPAs, CFAs are allowed to issue the certificate. It's only to a chartered accountant. So, my friends, it is an opportunity for us only, monopoly practice for us. So, in case we can do that, we can create this vertical and make good amount of money and add to our professional practice. Then you have to go for compliances. So the law says that every quarter there has to be a quarterly progress report. At that time, the CA is required to issue certificate in form number 3. Again, so this is not a one-time work. You work for registration, then you go in for certification every quarter. So every quarter, the client has to come to you to get a certificate. And that is the time that this vertical is going to pay you money time and again around the year. Form 5 certification is a certification on an annual basis. So if you have the auditor of a company which is doing a project in real estate, in that case, you as the auditor will have to issue form number 5 on an annual basis to your client. Again, this is a monopolistic practice. Only a CA is allowed to do that. Whether you're an auditor under GST or income tax or any other law, you're allowed as a statutory auditor to sign form number 5. So this is again an opportunity for all of us. That form number 5 is a new thing. Naturally, the new certificate will come with new charges. So that is a benefit coming your way. Then litigation under RERA. This is very interesting. Previously, we used to deal with the income tax at the income tax officer level as well as at the appellate level. Same way is being offered to us under RERA. Under RERA, we as a chartered accountant are allowed to practice as a litigant on behalf of the litigant at the Maharashtra authority level as well as at the tribunal level, which means that as a chartered accountant, you are allowed to represent the client in front of the authority. And most of the hearings are virtual, so you don't have to leave your office, go to the court, and wait. You can be sitting in your office and handling the litigation matter easily, virtually, which means that there is one more opportunity to you to start this practice of litigation. And friends, the best part here is that we are competing with the advocate fraternity. And if you take my opinion, we are much better than that fraternity because we have been taught by our institute to take a 360-degree view of any matter. We have got the ability to understand the matter in detail and get ourselves prepared. We have got the ability to present the matter in the right manner, and we are better at numbers than them. And in real estate, it is basically the numbers game which has to be played. So then we get an advantage. Plus, the advocate fraternity charges the clients on each hearing basis. We have never done that in our life as a chartered accountant. But here you can mentally adjust yourself and make sure that you follow their practice of charging fees on a regular basis. So that will give you a perennial source of income, a continuous source of income. Litigation under RERA is an opportunity, and honestly, I'll tell you, the members who are on the other side of the table, or even the judges who are on the tribunal level, they give a lot of respect to chartered accountants when they hear the matters. From my experience, I can tell you that we are highly respected by the authorities, and always they are happy when there is a CA appearing as we are, as a consultant for the litigation. Then you have to go for project financing. This is our old line. We have been doing it for so many years. But as a specialized person, you can handle project financing for the client. Society formation, because once the project is completed, society has to be formed. This is not that paying, but you can give these services as an inbuilt service for the client, so it doesn't go anywhere else for the society formation work. Conveyance is again interesting. In Maharashtra, we have got the regular conveyance as well as deemed conveyance. Again, an opportunity for us to create a vertical where it is not that complicated. It is a very simple process. You can engage your staff and make sure that you start this practice also, wherein again there is a good amount of money to be made by a chartered accountant. Then this is interesting, escrow custody. Previously, this was the regime only of solicitors. Solicitor only used to practice the escrow thing. Escrow was a custody thing when the documents which are to be given on either side of the table were kept in escrow and subject to a event happening in the future, documents were supposed to be released. Now that mechanism, a lot of chartered accountants are doing this because in case you are accepted by the industry as an expert in real estate, then escrow also is possible for you to handle. Because escrow custody is something wherein if you are very good at that real estate services, then people, the developers, as well as the allottees, as well as the other people will have faith in you and they will require your services. It's a very highly paying job. As I told you, solicitors charge a bomb for giving these services. So you also can charge similar manner to the client and give them the services. Decision regarding entity creation, basically this we have been doing for last so many years, to a partnership or a LLP or a company or whatever it is. So that is something which we have been doing it for the last so many years. Then for the other real estate player who is a landowner, because you may not get a client who is a developer always. You may get a landowner as a client. So you have to deal with him also. So if he is interested in real estate development, so how to do area sharing, what is the economics of that, how to do revenue sharing, what is the effect of that, documentation, family arrangements in case there is a bigger family, if you want to split the income into multiple heads, what should be the arrangement? There should be a gift being given by A to B or vice versa. All that is a domain of chartered accountant, which we are the best people to deal with that subject. So while doing this, the implications of GST, income tax, all the implications also we understand the best. We can do a good job there of presenting all these facts and numbers to the client who is the landowner. Going further, society is the landowner. In Mumbai, especially, where the housing society concept, in the society is the landowner. And in case they want to go for development, then again there is a development agreement to be executed. then you have to get the permanent alternate accommodation agreement for the benefit of the existing members. The income tax applicability, GST applicability, will have to be looked into. We have been doing income tax GST, but this documentation is also very interesting because at the time when the documents are being drafted, in case you are rendering the services, you can ensure that your client is given a proper deal by the promoter. Because sometimes the GST liability comes at a later stage, which nobody is aware of. It is our job as a chartered accountant to make the society as well as the members aware about the GST implications, about the tax implications, about how to compute the area, what is the agreement being done for, what is the FSI to be consumed right now, what rights are being conferred upon the developer, what rights are retained by the society. In case of non-performance, how to deal with that situation. All that has to be structured in the JDA, the Joint Development Agreement. And that time, it is the chartered accountant who is in the right position to give a correct advice. And mark my words, this has been done is for the last so many years by advocates. But in case a chartered accountant chips in that I can do this job for you as a client, then there is always a possibility that the client will shift the work from the advocate to you as a chartered accountant, because in case he gets confidence that you are in a better position to advise him and take care of his interest, then certainly he will be more than happy to give the work to you. Then CA with the investor. What happens is that you may have a client who is an investor into real estate. So in that case, for the client, you may have to go in for the investor agreement to understand the clauses, what sort of arrangement is being made between the investor and the promoter, how he is being protected under the agreement, what protections have to be imposed upon the developer so that the investor's money comes back to him properly with the agreed amount of interest or benefits. How to structure that, therein the CA comes into picture, because again the CA is in the best position to give a correct advice to the investor. So the investor agreement, the power of attorney to sell, the tax implications, the GST implications, whether in an investor agreement, in case the investor earmarks some flats or some property against the investment, whether the GST is applicable at that point in time. The draft of the agreement is very important. GST authority will look into the draft and they will ultimately decide whether GST was imposable or not. So at that time, your document should be so clear that there is no liability of GST on the investor unless he agrees to purchase the property. So that document should be made so clear, and that is the job of the chartered accountant who is in the right position to draft the document in the interest of the investor. Same is the case with the mortgager. In case your client is giving a loan to a project against a fixed rate of interest, then you may go in for a mortgage document. Then you may take a power of attorney in case tomorrow the mortgage fails, the fellow doesn't pay you the money. Then how to recover the money? You have to get a power of attorney. If yes, it is to be registered, not to be registered. This is the call that you have to take depending on the documents and the structure. So here again, as I told you, you are the right person who can advise the client about the income tax applicability, the GST applicability, safety of the person who is going to deal in the property. All that is our domain. We have not been putting this knowledge into practice. Friends, all of us understand this law, understand this subject, but because we are so much busy in handling our income tax and GST, we fail to create this vertical. There is an opportunity coming your way to create this vertical. Real estate is a highly paying field, and in case you are a part of that and giving services to the players of the industry, then yes, you have got the opportunity to create a vertical and make good amount of money. A project financer. Now herein I have been advising some bankers also for project financing. What happens is that a client goes to a bank for project financing, gives the particulars, but sometimes it so happens that the banks or the project financer NBFCs do not have the right amount of people to advise them about the correctness, feasibility of the project. Herein, you as a chartered accountant, if you are well versed with the laws, you can be helpful to the project financer in making the documentation for project financing. Then you can take make sure that there is a cover being created in case of default, in the tax applicability of income tax and GST. And as a project financer, whether how to read the RERA website, because RERA website is updated by the promoter on quarterly basis. So if you have lent money as a project financer to a project, it is your duty to monitor the project whether he is going in the right way or not, whether your money is safe or not. So as an advisor to the project financer, you always make sure that his money is being put rightly at the right place and your money is safe and to come back to you with the desired returns. So at that point in time, it is your job as a chartered accountant to make sure that the project financing documents are properly prepared, the project is monitored properly on regular basis. In case of any default by the promoter, you are there to look into the default and make immediate corrections. You can advise your client that see here the promoter is defaulting and this is the time that we should take some action, because what happens basically in our country is that actions are taken when the loan becomes totally bad. There is no mechanism to correct the position at the time of default. We do it when the entire defaults have taken place, the loan has totally become bad, money have been siphoned off, and now there is nothing left. In case you are a chartered accountant who is monitoring the project, then you can do this on a regular basis, on a real-time basis, which means that you exactly know what is going wrong when, and that is the time the immediate action has to be taken by you in the interest of your client, so that his money is always kept safe. And for this, the services rendered by you, the professional fees are a substantial amount of money because the stakes of the promoter are very high. So project financer, if he is lending a huge amount of money, then he will be ready to give you a good amount of professional fees in case you volunteer to protect his money and make sure that the money comes back to him with the proper benefits and the returns. So this is a job wherein the returns are good, provided you are having the realistic knowledge to monitor the project in the right manner. So friends, you have to really put in your best effort. Then these clients will come your way. They are not going to come just like that. Unless you prove your metal, you prove your ability, you prove your expertise to the client, the work will not come to you. But the moment that you prove that yes, you have the expertise, then there will be clients who will be coming after you like anything. Once your name is there in the market that you are a good advisor on real estate, then the work follows automatically. You don't have to look for any work anywhere. The work regularly comes to you. This I can tell you from my own experience. Then we have this situation in Mumbai, especially where there is a barter arrangement, which means that there is a contractor who is appointed by the promoter to construct the building, but he is not given money. He is offered area against the services rendered by him. So there is a barter arrangement wherein the contract to be executed between the contractor and the developer. You can be on either side. You can be a CA for the contractor. You can be a CA for the developer. In both the cases, you get some work because the documentation of barter arrangement is very critical. But there is the implication of income tax and GST at each stage, and we are the right persons to understand the implications at each stage and advise the client. So there are two things: documentation for barter arrangement and documentation to cover case of future dispute and litigation. In case you are instrumental in filing the documents, then any dispute between the two parties will always be referred to you. And again, one more opportunity will be coming to you to render services to settle and resolve the disputes. So here, barter arrangement documentation, the litigation, the dispute resolution, all this is our domain again. Now, the most important person in the transaction is the allottee. The law is for his protection, for his benefit. So, for you to get a allottee as a client is the easiest thing, because anybody and everybody in India deals in real estate. He has to buy a shop, buy an office, buy a plot of land, whatever the case may be, and therein he requires the services of a chartered accountant. So for the allottees, you can be instrumental in making sure that you get the right letter of allotment. This draft is being given by RERA. You can verify whether the draft given by the promoter is exactly the draft as put under RERA, or there is a variation in that. In case he is giving a deviation, whether that deviation is recorded under RERA or not. These are the things you can easily do for your client to make sure that he gets the right deal. The deal being offered by the promoter is to be monitored by you whether the deal is being rightly given by way of the proper documentation or not. Documentation can be letter of allotment, agreement to sell, a petition letter. All three are to be given by the promoter on the website of RERA. You can represent the allotee and make sure that the documentation is correctly done. Then the protection under RERA. It is your job as a chartered accountant to educate your client about his rights under RERA. What protection is being offered by RERA to the allotee should be educated to the client, to the allotee, so that he is aware what exactly are his responsibilities, are entitlements and rights. So if you can do that job, the clients are going to come your way. But everybody is an allotee in India who is interested in real estate. So all these people want services. In case you can volunteer to give these services, then yes, there will be people coming your way to get the services. Then the filing of complaint. This is the easiest job for a chartered accountant under RERA, because the allotee is having a problem with the developer, maybe delay in possession, not the possession not matching with the agreement. For example, the area is different, the floors have been changed, there is some manipulation, there is some passage area which is excluded or included, the quality of work is not that good. There can be multiple grievances. Society is not incorporated, the conveyance is not given. For all these grievances of the allottees, you have to file a complaint with the authority. The complaint draft is being given by authority. How to draft the complaint is a skill that you have to acquire. But if you acquire the skill, then the complaints can be lodged by you. You can litigate the complaint, because therein again the complaint has to be litigated by you. You can represent the authority in front of the authority and put up your facts correctly. The way we do with the income tax or the income tax tribunal, you can do the same thing with the Maharashtra authority and the RERA tribunal. So here again, there is an opportunity for you to file the complaint and litigate the complaint with the authority. Then agents. Agents also require to be registered under RERA. A petty job, but still it can create job for you in the future. So there is a guidance and training to qualify under RERA, which has to be given to the agents, registration under RERA and compliance under RERA. The way a promoter is required to make compliances under RERA, same way an agent also is required to get himself registered under RERA and do the compliances. If he's not registered, then he doesn't get protection under RERA. Then, along with a chartered accountant, there is an architect, there is an engineer, there is an advocate, and a banker who are supposed to monitor the regulations of RERA. So all these people require your services. An architect who wants to issue a certificate form number 1 will require your services to understand whether he is doing the job correctly or not. See, all the certificates being issued by the architect, engineer, and chartered accountant are for the same project. So they should be given the same numbers. There cannot be a system wherein the numbers vary. For example, if the architect is saying 70% project is completed, the engineer is saying 60% completed, and CA is saying 80% completed, this cannot be the situation, because all three are referring to the same project for the same period. So they should be in sync with each other. And sometimes it so happens that because there is nobody who coordinates the activities, the certificates go haywire. From my experience, I can tell you that the CA's role is most important, because he's got the figures in front of him. He has to be in sync with the architect and the engineer to make sure that their certificates also match the numbers as being reflected in the books of accounts. The books of accounts is the right thing. So that number, along with the architect and the engineer, should be matching. So form 1 issued by the architect, form 2 issued by the engineer, and form 3 issued by the chartered accountant should be in sync with each other. Because friends, MahaRERA or any RERA authority, the data given under RERA, under GST and under income tax are always available to all the three authorities, which means that whatever you submit under RERA is available to the GST authorities to confirm whether you are reflecting the right numbers or not. A simple case, for example, if there is an investor agreement done by the promoter and he says this is not sale, it is only investor agreement, there is no sale which has taken place. In that case, GST authority, when they match it, they may find tomorrow, no, this is a sale and GST is exigible. In that case, you can come into trouble. So you have to make sure that the returns under GST, income tax, and RERA are in sync with each other. Wherein the role of the CA is most important. CA is the only person who can understand the GST, income tax, as well as the RERA. So that data which is being given by the client to all the three authorities should be exactly the same. Here, the job of CA becomes tricky but very important. See, this law wants to give more and more importance to the CA fraternity, and that is the reason I am here to explain to you that there is an opportunity coming your way. Your role is most important under RERA, and this is the law which can help you in a very big way. Now, friends, going further, before I close, there is one more thing. The Maharashtra, I am talking about Maharashtra only. Maharashtra housing policy said that they say that the way RERA is being formulated, they're going to form one more law for the rehab. In Maharashtra, what happens is that in case there is a society which goes for redevelopment, then the existing members of society are not given protection under RERA, which is an anomaly in the law. The existing members who are given their flats or shops for redevelopment, they don't get the protection under RERA. So that reason, to remove the anomaly, what the government of Maharashtra has done is that in the Maharashtra Housing Policy 2025, they have decided to form a separate authority like RERA for the redevelopment. So friends who have lost the opportunity at that time, when RERA came in 2016 to practice RERA, now again there is opportunity coming your way under the new law for the redevelopment. It is a charter account again will be given an equal role to contribute to that development of the sector, which means that for the redevelopment, whether it is by the society on their own or by the developer, that law will be giving protection to the allottees who are the existing members. So that is a big chunk which is going to come your way, because in Maharashtra the redevelopment is 90% by way of existing structure being demolished under redevelopment. So therein you missed out on RERA at that time in 2016 or 17. Now don't miss it. Be vigilant. Make sure that this law which is coming your way in the next budget session, this session of the government of Maharashtra, you are at the right place at the right time. If you're at the right place at the right time, then yes, you will always get the opportunity to look into that law and again create a vertical for that law. So, friends, with this, I'll stop because the time given to me was up to 2. I have finished here, but I am ready for any question and answer in case you have any. Thank you so much for the patient hearing.
Thank you so much, Sunil sir.
Yeah.
Uh, Participants, we are open for the question answer session. Anyone who want to ask any question, do let us know. Sir, a question that we have received, that can we do a normal practice as well as RERA simultaneously?
Yes, why not? You can. You have your own vertical. The way you do audit practice, you do income tax practice, you use the GST practice, you can do their practice. It is an independent job. You can create a vertical, you can engage two of the staff members, you can deputy a CA to handle that and start the work. And once you get more work, you can expand. That is easily possible. It is not
Right.
in substitution, no, it is in addition. RERA work will be in addition to your normal work, no?
Definitely.
See, you have got a builder client who is going in the market and getting the service from somebody else. But if you volunteer that, okay, I'll give you the services which you require under RERA, I'm competent to do that, he'll come back to you naturally. So there is opportunity for you. Because you're not volunteering to do that, he's not coming back to you. The day you start volunteering that, yes, this service I can render for you, he'll come back to you.
Okay, sir. Definitely. Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of the CP committee and all our participants, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our CS Sunil Damodar Naik, sir, for sharing his profound expertise on RERA opportunities and regulations. The insights provided will undoubtedly help chartered accountants identify and capitalize on emerging opportunities in the real estate sector. Thank you for your comprehensive presentation, sir, and for taking time to address our participant question. Your contribution to professional knowledge building is truly appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. We are pleased to note that we continue to have strong participation in this webinar with 211 participants. This reflects the high demand for knowledge in these emerging practice areas. For our second and final session, I am privileged to introduce CA Bharat Goyal, sir, a tax director in a leading consulting firm with specialized expertise in international taxation. Over 3 years of dedicated experience in US taxation, he specializes in exempt organizations and individual taxation, with additional expertise in partnerships and corporations. Focuses on helping clients optimize tax strategies while maintaining a strict compliance, pioneering the use of AI tools to automate tax return process, thereby enhancing operational efficiency and accuracy in tax administration. I'm increasingly globalized in an increasingly globalized economy. Indian CAs are presented with tremendous opportunities to serve clients in cross-border transactions, international structuring, and US tax matters. CA Bharat Goyal expertise positions him perfectly to guide us on these lucrative and emerging professional opportunities. I now invite CA Bharat Goyalji to present his session on understanding US taxes, laws, and professional opportunities for Indian CAs. This session promises to open new vistas for our professional practice and equip you with the knowledge about expanding your service portfolio internationally. Please feel free to prepare a question and answers session that will follow. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Amit. It's a very pleasure to be the part of today's session organized by the ICICP committee and inviting me as a faculty to share my insights on the US taxation law. I heartfully thanks to C. Satish sir. He met me in a conference and told me that if you can share your thoughts on US taxation and you can join us as a webinar. So can you? So I told him that yes, I can, and he gave me the opportunity to share my thoughts on US taxation, as I am working as a tax director in a company. And so basically, as we all know, the global opportunities for the chartered accountants are evolving rapidly, and it is essential to for us to aware of these opportunities that are available outside the our domestic zone, our Indian zones, so we can explore those opportunities as well. And in today's session, we will focus on the understanding the key aspects of the US taxation and the opportunities you have as an Indian chartered accountants in the US taxation. So let me share my screen first. So I hope my screen is visible.
It's visible, sir. You can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So during this session, we will have the mm, uh, Indian taxation and US taxation differences and US tax structure, like how US taxation work in and US tax jurisdiction, like which type of authorities are implementing taxes, entity classification, like what type of entities are there, like in India we have uh, partnership companies, LLPs, individual, and like in USA, what type of classification of entities are there, filing requirement, what type of tax returns they need to file, and on next, what why we should explore the US market, why Indian chartered accountants should explore the Indian markets. And at the end, if time permits, we will have this small topic, tax identification number, like we have PAN in India. So in USA we have SSN, ITIN, and EIN. So for the first topic, we will start like what are the basic differences in Indian taxation and US taxation. So first is tax structure. So in India we have our Indian government, like our income tax department. So uh, it has the authority to develop the income tax laws, implement the taxes. And but in USA we have three-tier system, like federal on the IRS level. It's on federal level we have IRS, and at the state level, and on local governments like districts and municipalities, they can also implement the taxes. Like we have one income tax at federal level, and the entities like if I am in California state, then I need to file the California state tax return as well. And for the local municipalities can also implement the income taxes on me. So in India, we have the single authority, but in USA, we have different authorities, uh, like on federal, state, and local government. And the tax year in India, obviously, we all know that we have the April 1st to March 31st, the taxable year. But in USA, the calendar year would be followed like on January to December. For individual persons, it is mandatory to use a calendar year. But for entities like partnership or a corporation or LLC or an exempt organization, they can elect the fiscal year. Like if they want to run their business from July to June, August to September to August, or any type of fiscal year they want to use, they can use definitely. But for individual, it is calendar year only. So entity taxation, on the next point, entity taxation. So all type of entities in India are required to pay taxes or on their own. In India, we if a partnership is filing a return, then partnership needs to pay their taxes on their own. But in USA, it is a provision like LLCs or a partnership or S corporations. Those are required to pass through their taxes to their partners or their members. We will check these things in deep in the further. But pass through is like a partnership is earning the money, and it is pass throughing their income to the partners. Then partners need to pay the taxes. So basically, we will have the deeper knowledge on this on the further slides. Okay. So withholding approach, in India we have TDS, and in USA we have withholding. Like we call it withholding on wages, or like uh, TDS is applicable on all type of payments, like on salary, on rent, on purchasing of property, and contract services, professional services. All other type of payments are under the criteria of TDS. But in USA, the primarily they apply the withholding on wages only. But in some cases, like if someone is not providing their SSN or EIN number, then they need to the paying person, the payer should withhold the taxes at the rate of 24%. The different tax rates are there. But and for the non-resident person, if someone is paying to a non-resident, then he or she needs to withhold the taxes at the tax rates given for the different type of services. Like on dividend, it's 25%. So these are the things. And for in India, we have 30 maximum of 30% of tax rate plus 4% of surcharge, and maximum it can go to 42%. And but in USA, we have 37%. Like it US also have the slab rates based on the income, and the maximum tax rate for the federal is 37%. Then it comes to states. So few states have zero tax rates, few the range of the taxes are between 0 to 13, and the maximum top tax can go up to 50%. So the next thing is joint return. This would be the new concept for in USA, because we in India, if any individual file to tax return, then he needs to file for himself, and for the spouse, the tax return needs to be filed with their spouse PAN. The different uh, independently they file to they need to file the tax returns. But in USA, there is a concept of married filing jointly. So they can file the tax return jointly if they are married. So in that case, we would have the couple would have a better tax situation, because in that case, if take a situation where a spouse is not earning anything, and only one spouse is earning, and the husband is earning and wife is not earning. Now, thing is, when we come to standard deduction, then if married filing jointly, if the husband is filing the tax return on combined basis, on jointly basis, then he would get the standard deduction of both of them. Like currently 1400 and 14,600 is the standard deduction rate, 14,600 for the single person. But if on the same page he file on a combined basis, then he would get the benefit of doubling the standard deduction. So basically he is earning on, only he is earning, his wife is not earning, or earning on a lesser amount. So he would get the standard deduction for both the individuals. So basic differences are these. And on the next page, earlier I told you that they have the multi-layer framework, like federal taxes, federal implement the taxes on their own, then all the states have the rights to implement the taxes, and the local government authorities like cities, counties, and districts, they can also implement the taxes. So basically, the federal department is administered by the IRS. IRS is Internal Revenue Services. So this department handle the all the federal taxes. So there are two types of taxes. One is income tax and payroll tax. Payroll tax is not a income tax. This is a different. I will get back to this also in next slide. Basically, payroll tax includes Social Security and Medicare. These are like PF and ESI. So we will get back to these also. And the third one is excise tax. So federal implement income tax, payroll tax, and excise tax. On the next state level, all the each of the 50 states can implement their own taxes, their tax rules. They can have the different tax rule on their own, different tax rates. So if an individual or a entity is working in particular state, then it needs to file the tax return and pay the franchise taxes also. There are few states like 9 states are there, those that don't have the income taxes. And the third category is local tax layer. In this layer, we have cities and counties. Like cities and counties, you can say for if we compare this in India, you can say it is a district level tax. So uh, in USA, districts can also implement their taxes. Basically, common local taxes are property taxes and license fees, and they can also implement the income tax. So this is the basic US taxation structure in USA. So it is important to note that the each we need to aware of each of the taxes, otherwise we may need to pay the penalties. So then our next topic is US tax jurisdiction. So US under US we have first income taxes. Income taxes is same as we have in India, but the structure is different because in USA at the we need to pay the taxes at federal level, at a state level, and on local level as well. So 9 states are currently there. Those don't have the income tax, state income tax, but federal tax rate is applicable for all over the US. The second tax is payroll tax. Payroll tax is basically uh, employee needs to pay at the rate of 6.2% of social security and 1.5% of Medicare. These are the like PF benefits. We have deducted our own contribution. Employer deduct our contribution from our salary, and himself match the contribution. So basically, it's 14 point sorry 12.4 total payroll tax on your wages, and the Medicare tax is also there for two at the rate of 2.9, combining 2.9 employee part and employer part. And states don't have these payroll taxes; they implement unemployment insurance taxes. This is also a unemployment insurance, like in a year you don't have the employment due to any reason. So states are there, though they provide uh, unemployment benefits to you. On the when you are employed, you need to pay unemployment insurance. Basically, employer pay the unemployment insurance on their own at their own cost to the states and to IRS as well. The unemployment insurance is available on IRS level also. So they need to pay the unemployment insurance to a authority, and later, if you are not employed somewhere, then you can claim your unemployment benefit. Those are earlier deposited by you when you are employed. So you can claim those benefit in the period you are not employed due to any reason, like medical situation, like you are got an accident, and whatever the situation is, you can claim the benefit. So this is a benefit when you are not employed, still you are getting the amount for your daily household requirements. And payroll tax is mandatory for W2 employees. W2 is basically a form for employees. The third one is sales and use tax. Like in India, we have GST, but in USA, there is no sales and use tax on the federal level. But states can implement the sales tax, but it is not necessary to have the sales tax, because they have sales tax on few things only, like a few on few services, on few goods, not on all goods and services. And this is depend on the state specific requirements. And the fourth one is property tax. We earlier discussed that local counties or cities can implement the taxes. The property tax is the tax which usually the cities and counties implement. So what is property tax? Tax is like a stamp duty in India. But stamp duty we need to pay when we sell or purchase the property. But in USA, it is mandatory to pay property tax on a annual basis. And local authorities like district or cities has the power to implement this tax. So basically, this is based on the assessed value, and assessed value is similar to our DLC rate. So these are the four tax, and the fifth is withholding. Withholding is like TDS. When we are paying wages to someone, then we need to withhold the taxes and deposit them to the IRS and state as well. Withholding is applicable on state and federal both level, not on local county level, but it is applicable on federal and state levels. So and also withholding is applicable for non-resident payments. Like if we are paying to a non-resident person, the person who is not a US person, then we need to withhold the taxes so that IRS is on a beneficial situation. Then if the non-resident person is not paying the taxes, then they have the tax. Ensure the taxes are deposited on the services. So our next topic is type of entities. So basically in India, we have sole proprietorship and limited liability companies, or sorry, partnerships, normal partnerships, companies, and trust. So similarly, US also has the different type of entity. Sole proprietorship is basically like in India, we if a person is working as a sole proprietor, so he don't need to file a separate return for the sole proprietorship in India as well. He can use his PAN and show the business income in ITR 3. Similarly, in USA, if you are having a sole proprietorship, you don't need to have the separate income tax registration number. I am quoting it income tax registration number, but basically this is a EIN. EIN number is for the entities. I will get back to this also in the later slide. And consider it EIN number like a PAN number. So in USA, if you are having a sole proprietorship, then you don't need to apply for an EIN. You can directly report the income and expenditures from the sole proprietorship in your Schedule C. 1040 is the form of ITR, like we say ITR 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like US have the forms like 1040, 1065 and so on. So in case of sole proprietorship, you can file Schedule C with your 1040 to report the income and expenditure of Schedule C. The second type of entity is LLC. This is most liked type of entity in the USA because it has uh, uh, limited laws, and also you can have benefit of using LLC as a S corporation, C corporation, and partnership, because all these entities are created at state level. Federal don't create any entity. Federal just give an EIN to the entities to file their tax returns. So LLC can, and in USA, Federal don't have LLC as a type of entity. So if you are creating an LLC, I will get back to this in next slide. We have LLC deep dive. So LLC, the second type of entity. This is basically a entity in which the members of the entity have the limited liability. And the C corporation, in India we have the companies paying their taxes and all. So in USA we call it C corporation, and S corporation is a small company. Like we in India have a small company. So S corporation is a small C corporation. Means small corporation. So this is the fourth type of entity in USA. And the fifth one is partnership. Like we have in India partnership entities. So in US also we have partnerships, LLPs, and the trust and non-profits. Obviously, we have uh, trust in India as well, not-for-profit organization. So registered under ATG. So basically, in USA, you have 51C3 is the section under which the non-profit organization registered in their itself. So in the next slide, we will deep dive into the LLC. Basically, LLC is most choice for the Indian entrepreneur in the US because it has liability protection. You have limited liability and tax flexibility. Why we say is flexibility? Because an LLC can be registered as a partnership, as a corporation, as a C corporation, whatever the type of entity it want to registered as, he can registered, all also having the limited liability protection. Their liabilities are limited up to the share also. So basically, it can create a S corporation, a C corporation, and also having the benefit of the liability protection. So that's why it is very popular structure of in USA. So it had fewer state compliances, and like in S corporations, C corporation, it needs to be have board meetings and all other formalities and requirements. So LLC don't have these type of requirements, and it can have corporate election. It can have the pass through election. If an LLC registered as a partnership, then it can have the pass through taxation available with it. And US banks also accept the LLCs. So basically LLCs are three type of LLCs. First is single member. Basically there are two type of LLCs, but it is categorized under three. First is single member LLC, and the second is multi-member LLC. In case of single member LLC, the one benefit also there is you can create a LLC with only a single member. So basically itself it is a benefit. If you are went to someone and say that I am so and so and working as sole proprietorship, then someone don't prefer you to give you the work or other things. But if you go as a structured in a structured way, like you are saying that you are the owner of the LLC, this LLC is working in USA and providing services like for income tax, and then this also create a benefit for us. So basically if we are having a single members LLC, it would be considered as a sole proprietorship for federal purpose. Like when let me show you. I told you that sole proprietorship can file Schedule C under its federal form. Similarly, a single member LLC is considered as a disregard entity. So it don't need to file a separate tax return in at federal level. So it can file their tax return under Schedule C, similar to sole proprietorship, and this can help have the EIN, separate EIN, but it don't need to file the tax return on a separate basis. But if we have multiple members, like two or more, then by default IRS says you are a partnership. As I told you earlier that LLC's structure is not available in federal level. All the LLCs are created at state level. Once you created an LLC, you can apply for EIN. EIN basically employer identification number. It's a PAN. If we say in Indian language, it's a PAN number. So LLCs can, if you are having a multi-member LLC, so you are by default a partnership for US federal level. You are a partnership, and partnerships in USA file form 1065 and schedule K1. I will get back to this schedule K1 as well in the next slides. So LLC, in case you have multiple members, then by default you are a partnership, and you can also apply for an S corporation or C corporation election under the third category, which is if you have the members like single member or multi-member. Any type of member of an LLC can apply for S corporation or C corporation election by filing 8832 form for C corporation and 2553 form S corporation. And LLCs filing form 1120. 1120 is basically form for C corporation, and 1120 S is for S corporation entities. So similarly, if you are having a single member, then you are by default you are a disregarded entity, and you need to file your tax return under Schedule C of partnership. Oh, sorry, Schedule C of your individual tax return. But you can apply for a S corporation and C corporation election by filing these forms. Okay, so on the next point. Yeah. the next one is corporate structure. So basically, we have two type of entities: C corporate and S corporate. Everyone wants to know the what is the difference between C corporation and S corporation. So basically, S corporations are small corporation, and C corporations can be small or large, both. C corporation needs to pay their taxes their own, because C corporation are like Indian companies. They pay their taxes their own, and file their taxes separately from their shareholders. They C corporation has the shareholders as a member. So basic difference between C corporation and S corporation are, in C corporation you have double taxation, because at the entity level, when you file the tax return, you need to pay 21% of flat tax rate in USA. And when you pay the dividend, like in India, when Indian company pay the dividend to their shareholders, then shareholders needs to report the dividend, and they have the double taxation. Similarly, in SC corporation, you have the double taxation in USA, but S corporation have single layer of taxation, because they pass through their income and they don't need to pay their taxes at their own. As corporation don't pay their taxes at their own, they directly pay, they directly uh, pass through their incomes to their shareholders or members, and then the shareholder and the members needs to file their tax return and show that particular, like is as corporation have two member at the 50-50 ratio, then if a S corporation is earning $100, so both the members needs to pay the taxes on 50-50. The first difference is this, and the second difference, uh, no foreign ownership, because for uh, creating an S corporation, sorry, C corporation, you cannot have a shareholder which is not a US resident. So it is mandatory to have a US resident person if you want to create a C corporation. Sorry, C corporation. In C corporation you can have the foreign shareholders, but in S corporation you cannot have the foreign shareholders. You must be the US citizen or US resident in case of S corporation. And C corporation, the third difference is you can have multiple stock classes, like class A, class B type of taxes, in which the uh, class A, class type B type of stocks, in which you have different type of ownership uh, requirements and their benefits. So you can select for the multiple stock classes in uh, C corporation, but in S corporation you cannot have the uh, you can only have the one stock class, that is only one class. And C corporation you can have any number of shareholders, but in S corporation the maximum shareholders are allowed only 100 shareholders. So these are the basic differences. When we say if we are creating an S corporation, we cannot have a foreign shareholder in the S corporation. The third one is partnership. Partnership basically file Form 1065 US tax return and the state tax returns as well, but the forms name are different. Like uh, in California, you have 565 tax return form name is 565, and all the different states have different uh, forms name for the partnerships. And income allotted to partner, this is important. Basically, like S corporation, I told you that they don't pay the taxes at their own. Same is applicable for partnership as well. like in the partnership, US taxation says that you don't need to pay the taxes thereon. You need to issue a Schedule K1. Schedule K1 is basically a schedule in which partnership distribute the all the income, losses, deduction, gain, credits, all the things allocate to the partners, and as per the partnership agreement, whatever the partners ratio, the all the income, losses, deductions were distributed among the all the partners, and then partnership issue a schedule K1 to each of the that partner, and by using that schedule K1, partners report on their income tax return that I am getting this amount of uh, sorry I'm getting this amount of income deductions, and all of these things are from my partnership, and I need to pay the taxes on uh, and the individual need to pay the taxes on the partnerships taxes. Like in India, we have uh, other way around situation. Partnership pay their taxes on at the rate of 30%, and then whatever the income is allotted to the partners is no exempt from the taxes. But in USA, it is not exempt basically, but uh, partnership don't need to pay. Their taxes would be paid at the rate of the slab rate applicable to the particular partner. Like if someone is earning lesser, or the only source of income is on partnership, and he is earning lesser amount, then he needs in India, whatever the income is, partnership is paying 30% taxes. But in USA, you can have the benefit of slab rate as well as the standard deduction if you are not earning more than 14,600. If I'm saying that you are filing separately, then you don't need to pay the taxes. So this is the benefit basically have in USA under partnership taxation. So these are the type of tax returns. Our next topic for the tax return. C corporations file form 1120. So 1120 is income tax return for corporation entities, and the due date for the uh, C corporation returns are 15th month, 15th day of fourth month. Like if you are your tax return, I told you earlier that they can use any type of fiscal year from July to June, from September to August. So from the end of the year, you need to calculate the 15th day of fourth month to file the tax return. So like for the calendar year taxpayers, April 15th would be the tax due date, and a 6-month automatic extension also available to all type of entities, but the form name are different for all. So basically for C corporation it is 7004. So by filing this form, you can get the 6-month extension to file their taxation. But the important thing to note here is this automatic extension is available for the filing of tax return. You don't have any extension for paying the taxes. If even if you are filing tax return later stage, but you need to pay the taxes on the at on April 15th only. If you don't pay the on by April 15th, you would be charged penalties and interest at the rate of as decided by the IRS. So yes, C corporate has 21% of flat tax rate, and second second type of entities are S corporations. So S corporation need to file the 1120S. Like in for C corporate it's 1120, and for S corporate it's 1120S. The due date is 15th day of third month after the end of the year. Like for calendar year taxpayers, it is March of 15th. But for all those type of entities, it is important to note that if the due date is falling on the Saturday or Sunday or on public holidays, then the due date would be the next working day. Okay, so if we say on March 15th, it is a Saturday, then the due date would be 17th of March, not 15th of March. Similarly here, you would have a 6-month automatic extension available, and by filing the same form 7004, and yes, there is no entity level taxes. All the income flows to the shareholders and they pay the taxes. Similarly, in partnership, the only difference between S corporation and partnership is they file Form 1065, they have partners, and S corporation has the shareholders. All other things are similar. They also don't pay taxes on entity level. They only have the partner need to pay the taxes, and at the end individual, the most important, the form would be 1040 for US individual taxes, and there are different forms like for 1040, 1040 NR, 1040 SR, SR for senior citizen, NR for non-resident person. So the forms are same, but the things are little bit different. But for senior citizen, because their standard deduction increased by the certain amount, so and the due date for filing income tax return is similar to S corporate, same as April 15th, and similarly 6-month automatic extension is available, but the form name is different. Here is 4868. So, and yes, they need to pay the taxes at their own. And income tax rate for the individuals are on the slab rates. Like in India, we have different slab rates, new regime, old regime. So similarly in USA, they have the different tax rates for individuals, ranging from 0 to 37%. This is the federal rate. On the states, if I say California have 1% to 13%, New York have 4.4% to 10.9%. These are the tax rates, tax slabs in different states as well. Okay. So these are the information return. What is information return is actually, in India we have TDS returns, and on the other hand we have income tax returns. So TDS returns are filed by the employers, by the payers, and income tax returns are filed by the payees and employees also. So similarly in USA, you have information return. They call them information return. Like you are providing us the information, and income tax return, you are providing us the income tax data and income taxes also. So this is the difference. And type of information returns are various type of information return, but three most important we need to discuss. The first one is W2, 1099, and 1042 and 1042S. So basically, W2 is our Form 16. Okay, so employees are getting Form 16 in India. In USA, they are getting Form W2. So in Form W2, they report their wages, their withholdings, their social security, Medicare withholdings, their retirement plan contributions, their medical benefit, dental benefits, etc. All of these type of benefits are reported under Form W2. Like we have Form 16, we have all the information of our income taxes, but in Form W2, we have only for the uh, employees wages related information, and employer need to issue Form W2 to each of the employee if he or she is earning more than $600, and the due date for submitting this W2 is 30 Jan 31st. So basically, we need to issue this to employees, to Social Security administrations, and to IRS as well. Social Security Administration is basically who manage the payroll taxes. I earlier give you the example of payroll taxes, that Social Security and Medicare taxes. So Social Security benefits are managed by the Social Security Administration there in USA. And like the second form is 1099. 1099 form is like our form 16A. So we need to deduct the TDS on rent, on interest, on dividend, on professional fees. So we issue form 16A to our payers. In USA, you need to issue a 1099 form. So there are many type of 1099 for all type of services, like 1099 NEC for non-employee compensation. Like for this, you can say as a professional service. If you are providing professional services to an organization, then it needs to submit the 1099 NEC with the IRS, with the service provider, and with the both of them, with the IRS and with the recipient, whatever the service provider is. And miscellaneous is for rent, royalties, payment to lawyers, and medical benefits. Like it has almost 9 or 10 type of miscellaneous incomes, under which we need to issue 1099 MISC. And most important are their rent and royalties and payment to lawyers. These are considered under 1099 MISC. 1099 INT is interest income. If interest income is you are paying an interest income of $10 and plus, then you need to issue 1099. For dividend also, you need to issue 1099 DIV. For payment of credit card transaction, for credit card transaction, the entity issue 1099K. And there are many other forms like 1099 consolidated, 1099B, B for sale of capital assets. Like all of these forms are need to be issued by the entities. And the last one is 1042 and 1042S. So basically 1042 and 1042S is for non-residents. Whatever the income a non-resident is earning from USA, then US employer needs to file 1042 with the IRS and 1042S with the all recipients. Like if it is getting the services from 4 or 5 non-resident person, so it would combine all the information of all the 5 persons in 1042. But in 1042S, it will give it to all these persons by reporting their income, like how much they are earning, type of income, and any withholding of taxes they have, so that they can claim it under their income taxes. Like whenever you file your income taxes, it ask you to provide an proof of withholding in form 60/61 in India. Then you can upload 1042S there. It is valid document issued by the IRS to the recipient. Then you can upload this 1042S also for the proof of tax withholding in the USA. So basically this is the my expertise of but this is not a common thing. So basically I kept it on the last pages. Form 990. Form 990 is for tax exempt organizations. Basically, all the tax or exempt organization don't pay the taxes. So they considered it as an information return, not an income tax return. It is an income tax return, but they call it as a information return, not a income tax return, because uh, tax exempt organizations are not paying taxes. So basically, this is the form 990, and it requires to be reported all the type of mission and programs, like what are the missions of the organization and governing structure, their board structure, board members list, their revenue, expenditures, and compensation paid to officers, like all these activities, and grant received from the entities, grant paid, like these are the things which needs to be reported under form 990. And the due date for filing of 990 is 15th day of fifth month. Similarly, after the end of the year, if it is using July to June fiscal year, then May 15th would be the uh, due date. So basically, why Indian chartered accountants are should you explore the US market, because this is high value market. You would have you must know that US client can pay you the premium fees, and you can grow your career in USA. You would add international clients in your practice. So these are the benefits for the Indian chartered accountants. So Indian chartered accountants are well reputed, a degree for US persons. They can recognize the chartered accountants as a qualified person. They can trust us. So we have the competitive advantage, because few of the firms in India are working in US taxation. Then this is an early stage, because if you say we are at a stage where it is increasing, but it is not yet um, uh, explored by more chartered accountants, because they have the fear that how we will approach the US market, how we will get the work, the so and the most important thing, which is enhanced earning potential. Because if in India you are filing a income tax return, they would pay you $500, 500 rupees, or maximum it is a 200 2000 to 50 to 3000. But net, if you are earning $100 from a individual person, so if you convert that in Indian rupees, you would earn the 8,000 or 9,000, because currently it is 90 approx US dollar is uh, going, but you can get that benefit as well in US, if you are getting the US clients. And this is obviously, this is a rapidly expanding sector. This is a very demanding sector. You can approach US clients to file though. So basically, two things which you need to be aware of. The first one, US clients prefer to have a EA or a CPA certificate. EA is basically enroll agent, and CPA is like CA in India. So certified public accountant. So they prefer to have a enrollment agent or CPA to prepare their taxes, because in USA anyone cannot prepare the tax return. Like in India, anyone can prepare the tax return, whatever his. It is not even required to report anything that you are and something. But in USA, this is important to you have the license to prepare the tax return. You must be a tax preparer there. They provide you PTIN number that you need to mention in the tax return as well. So these are the things. EA, you can CPA is basically very difficult course, but you can approach for EA. EA is basically you don't even need to left your job or switch, take a break for 6 months or 3 months. You just need to have the basic knowledge of US taxation, and it is very easy to uh, crack this EA course, enrollment agent course. And if you are an enrollment agent, then it is recognized by the US persons, and you can file the tax return easily without any complications. So that's all. The time is not permitting us, so I'm skipping this. Thank you, and we can have the question answers. And if you need this presentation, then you can approach me on this email ID or mobile number on your screen. So thank you, Amit ji. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Bharatji. I want to ask anyone who has any query, please raise questions. Okay, we are moving ahead. I would like to express our sincere gratitude to CA Bharat Goyal ji for providing us with such comprehensive insights into US taxation and the abundant professional opportunities available for Indian CAs in the international arena. Your practical knowledge on tax optimization, compliance, and the innovative use of AI in tax processes will undoubtedly add significant value to our professional toolkit. Thank you for your valuable time, sir, and for your engaging so effectively with our participants. Your contribution will help many of us expand our services and expertise on the global stage. Ladies and gentlemen, now we conclude this enlightening 83rd CP webinar. I would like to summarize the key takeaways. Session 1 was rare opportunities, where we learned from CA Sunil Damodar Naik sir how the real estate sector offers substantial opportunities for CAs in project registration, compliance advisory, and tax planning within the RERA framework. Session 2 was for US tax opportunities, where CA Bharat Goyal ji presented us with a comprehensive understandings of US tax laws and how Indian CAs can strategically position themselves to serve international clients and expand their professional horizons. Is CA Vishnu sir is there? Okay, he's not there. So I would like to give a vote of thanks to each and every participant here for their valuable time, to our today's learned speakers Bharat Goyal ji and Sunil Nayak sir for their valuable insights on very crucial topics where we can expand our services. Because apart from traditional practice services, we have to look the new arenas also, because such arenas will be a high source of generating the revenue apart from traditional practice. So I would like to thank Bharat Goyal ji and Sunil Nayak ji for giving such a beautiful presentation and enlightening us on these new topics. Thank you so much, sir. I would also like to thank you to our participants for joining this webinar. I hope to see you all soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amit ji.
Done.
CP committee would like to thank both our faculties and Amit sir for the enlightening session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.